Oh yeah, it's the first day of the Pro Swim Series in Fort Lauderdale. Wonder if anything interesting happened during the distance events. I mean, probably not, right? What the fuck? Katie Ledecky just blasted a monster time in the 1500 free with a time of 15:24:41. That is actually the second fastest 1500 ever in her career. And since we're talking about Ledecky, that makes it the second fastest swim in history. Ledecky's world record in this event is a 15:20:48 set back in 2018, also at a Pro Swim Series meet, which hilariously means that this swim isn't actually even a Pro Swim Series meet record, despite it being so fast. Ledecky's time here is faster than any of her numerous world title winning swims, faster than any of her national titles, faster than any Olympic trial swim, faster than any Olympic gold winning swim. Friendly reminder that Katie Ledecky is 28 years old, and she's been on top of the world in distance freestyle for nearly half of her life at this point, first winning gold in the London Olympics in the 800 freestyle at the age of 15. Ledeckys longevity in the distance events is just absurd. She's not just coasting off of her lead over the rest of the world as she slips further and further away from her best times. No, she keeps going some of the all-time fastest swims ever, seemingly never letting up. My favorite go-to example of this for the past couple of years has been her 800 free from the 2023 US Nationals, where she popped an 8:07:07 for the third fastest swim ever. That was already a really good sign for her ongoing longevity, so the fact that she's basically doing the same thing in another event 2 years later is an even better sign. You know, a lot of athletes choose to decrease the distance they swim as they get older, focusing more on 50s and 100s, but Ledecky seems to be doing the opposite. She's already dropped the 200 free and is maybe focusing more on the 800 and 1500 rather than the 400. Looking at the splits between this swim and her world record swim broken by 500 meters, we can see that Ledecky is a bit slower on each section than her world record swim, but those segments are all also more consistent with only a variation of 1.22 seconds compared to 2.36 seconds. One interesting thing looking at the splits is that Ledecky was out at the 800 meter mark in a blazing 8:12:76 to the feet. For reference, Ariane Titmus won silver in this event at the Paris Olympics with a new personal best of 8:12:29, and Ledecky herself was an 8:11:04. Of course, Katie Ledecky smashed the field here, winning by almost 40 seconds. Behind her was Jillian Cox, who recently finished her freshman year at Texas and actually goes a new personal best by 3 seconds. Always a fun experiment with Ledecky is to see where she would have placed in the men's race, and this time she would have placed third. Speaking of the men's race, Ledecky's Florida training partner and men's 1500 world record holder Bobby Fink also had an incredible swim here. His time of 14:54:49 is his fastest ever in-season swim, and actually his first time ever breaking 15 minutes outside of a championship meet was only last season at the Atlanta Classic last May. The fact that he did that ahead of the Olympics where he broke the world record makes it a little scary that he's now several seconds faster during this regular season. Back to Ledecky, she now owns the 22 fastest swims in history in the 1500 free. The fastest non-Ledecky swim is from Lodi Fries in 2013. Ledecky was actually right next to Fries during that swim at the 2013 World Championships, and it was actually the first time she ever broke this world record. It's always been interesting to me that the world record in this event is from a Pro Swim Series and not a World Championships, and while Ledecky is probably beyond going personal bests in the 400 or 800, the 1500 always feels like more of a possibility. It feels crazy to say that an athlete at this stage of their career has a chance to break their own world record, but if anyone can do it, it's Katie Ledecky. I would absolutely love to see if she can carry this speed into US Nationals and World Championships later on this summer, maybe see if she can really give this world record a run. It's interesting that outside of that race in 2013, Ledecky has never really been pushed by a competitor when she set any of her world records. Compared to, say, Bobby Fink in Paris, he at least had Gregorio Polgineri breathing down his neck for a lot of that race, pushing him to go faster. What did you think about Katie Ledecky's latest 1500 freestyle? And do you think she goes even faster later on this season? Let me know down below.